Okay, Chiefs, Dolphins. Chiefs win 33-27.
Yeah.
Of course, we're going to start with Patrick Mahomes. Let's take a look at what he has done. I think what he did against the Dolphins. There we go. Okay, so 24 out of 34, 393. The 3 interceptions highlighted there for a reason. He'd thrown only 2 the entire season coming in, so that was very unlike Mahomes.
Right.
Also in the stadium, threw 2 picks earlier this year in the Super Bowl on that same field, leading Mahomes after the game to say this.
Love part. I mean, we've won the Super Bowl here, and we've just clinched the AFC West. And so it seems like every time we leave the stadium, we have a hat of some type of thing we've accomplished. But then the hate part, I feel like I have half my interceptions. It seems like at this stadium.
He also has 2 wins. In his
Two
last
wins
2 trips there.
and a Super Bowl MVP on one of them. So it's hard to have too many bad thoughts there.
So, and for Mahomes, we have a lot of good throws to talk about if we'd like to, but we don't often have 3 interceptions
we
to
don't.
discuss.
No. And I mean,
So let's start there.
Let's hit on it. The first one, they're driving like a machine.
Yep.
It's going to throw the old fake to the left, fake to the right, middle screen to Kelsey, right? Gets a little unlucky. You know, Van Ginkel, okay, I think I'm saying that right. He falls down.
Right.
I totally think Mahomes sees it and knows it. But as he's kind of gearing up to throw, Van Ginkel got up quickly.
I thought he didn't know. I mean, I thought
Maybe he just saw him on the ground and thought, I'm going to get it there. Right.
Yeah.
Either way, But yeah, he kind of just thinks, okay, he's on the ground, I'm going to get it there. Van Ginkel pops up in a hurry and gets his hand on it, pops it up, interception. Okay, it's football. It's not perfect. Things like that are going to happen.
Right.
Now, then he has the next series is bad snap on first down, and then the 3rd down 30-yard sack that we've talked about already a little. So there goes that series. 3rd series, moving like a machine again. Here we go. Oh, okay, here goes the Chiefs again. Nobody open downfield, moves to his left, got Edwards-Helaire underneath, makes a typical routine awkward throw that we see Mahomes make, and throws it, 3-4 feet too high, right?
Yep.
I mean, Edwards-Helaire could not get a hand on the ball.
Right.
And interception. So, again, Miami, we know they're really good and all that, but I can't sit here and tell you anything like was special about what they did in those scenarios. I think that is one where I just chalk it up and go, he's human. He missed a throw or 2.
First one was great efforts, kind of an unexpected effort from the ground from the Dolphins. Second one, more times than not, high school, college, NFL, if you throw a hard ball above the frame to a running back, it's going to get tipped.
Right.
I mean, that's the only one I thought was really on him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's the only. Well, I'll say this: the 3rd one's on him too.
Really?
Definitely.
I thought that was just all.
It was a great play.
Clapped out.
It was a great play. But I think if we went back and watched this, you'd go, if he throws the ball 10 yards farther, Hill's going to catch it and not even have to be touched. He's going to score a touchdown. It's going to be easy. So he threw a safe ball thinking, I'm going to not lead him out of bounds or do something like that. My guy will make a play. But Xavier Howard's phenomenal. He's got the best ball skills maybe at any corner in football, as you see. The ball touches his hand, he intercepts it. But, yeah, that was another opportunity. I'm talking about, this is Patrick Mahomes. Tyreek Hill had him beat by 2 steps.
Yeah.
You can't throw that throw.
Okay.
All right? He's, everybody else I might give a little leeway to. I'm not going to give it to Mahomes.
I initially would have answered this question that Pete has written down here on the 3 picks. Was it more bad Mahomes or good Dolphins D? I would have said it was only one time bad Mahomes, but maybe you're leaning me into saying
I'm saying more
it's
2. But like that last one, okay, you can again, you can live with that.
Yeah.
Like you said, it is a damn good player on the other side too.
But still, I mean, if you're the Dolphins and you were right there,
Yeah.
I mean, at least the final score would suggest you were right there. The number is 6 with sacks and interceptions from Mahomes. You don't get to 6 with those 2 combinations very often against Kansas City. You got there, and you still lose.
No, I know that. Well, that's the amazing thing about Kansas City. I mean, we're sitting here; they're 12-1, and I don't think they've played an A or A+ game this season. I mean, that's what's amazing,
especially recently.
Right. That's what's scary about them. It's just like it's scary because you're like, I mean, I don't know. They could keep doing this and just not look good at certain moments of the game, and they still win, or they get it together and they just blow everybody out once they get to the playoffs and the Super Bowl. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked either way. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw what we saw last year from Kansas City in the playoffs, or them get it together and dominate everybody. I think it could go either way. I don't know.
Are you at all concerned about the lack of domination? I realize that it's a tough question, but we're talking about a team that's 12-1.
Yeah.
5 wins in a row by 6 points or less.
Well, it should be more than that. You know, they dominate games and don't put teams away. And again, this is another thing where it's the perfect example. You know, there was nothing that stopped the Kansas City Chiefs during this football game. Nothing. You know, at no point was Miami in the power position. Nothing like I've said, like where they lost to the Raiders earlier this year, where I went, no, the Raiders figured it out. They started to control them. At no point during this game did I go, oh, Miami's figured it out. They got them.
Right.
There was a moving machine all game long. All right. And then, you know, it's 28-10. They're moving the machine down the field. He throws the screen pass to McCole Hardman. He fumbles. Mm-hmm. And then the next drive, it's still 30-10. He throws the interception on 1st and 10 to Tyreek Hill down with the Xavier Howard. So, again, it's like, you know, a great Baltimore Ravens team in the early 2000s. We went, oh, the defense has got to put them away. This is the great offensive show of 2020 with the Kansas City Chiefs. They're built through the offense. Offense, got to put them away. Defense is not going to do that. So that to me is on them more than anything. But the game itself, too, just some of the schematical thoughts and all that. One thing I was really excited to see was like the thing we've talked about with Flores, these all-out blitz looks and all that, right? They were scared shitless to do any of that early in the game.
Clearly.
I mean, clearly, right? I mean, you watched it back. You don't ever see it until I believe about this third. I wrote it down. I can't remember exactly where it was, but maybe late second quarter, third quarter, finally is when they do it. And, you know, you might out there go, well, why? Why didn't they do that if it's worked against everybody else? Because this is a different animal. This guy's smart. He knows where to go to the ball when it's a quick blitz. He knows how to avoid blitzers. He'll fade away from blitzers and throw 60 yards down the field still. So, and then they can throw the McCole Hardman screen that he fumbled. That was an all-out blitz. Yeah. So those are the things that Brian Flores is like, hey, it's been great against everybody else, but it ain't going to work against this team. Yeah. Even the old, we're going to show the all-out blitz and bail out, right? Yeah. You can't do that against this group.
They weren't doing it.
Well, you can't because, you know, you bail out and, hey, we're going to try to, like, bail out and play Tampa 2. Oh, Tyreek Hill's in the slot. The guy that's supposed to be the middle linebacker in Tampa 2, he was up at the line of scrimmage faking a blitz. Tyreek Hill's 50 yards by him, so you can't do it. So that's where Kansas City's, you know, brains and their talent on the field can scare you away from things you want to do.
Wouldn't you rather, and even though it makes sense, that they would back off of that because of the respect they have for Mahomes and Reed and what they can do?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather have them come out and say, we're going to do the same thing to you that we did against Jared Goff. We're coming after you. We're showing crazy looks. We're going to be aggressive, even though it could burn them. Wouldn't you rather have them do that? Or no?
No.
Or was that the right play?
Not against this group. I would not. Because, and especially with me, with a young quarterback on the other side, I'd be too worried about if we come out over aggressive, it could backfire in my face, and we could be down 35-0 before we really get going here. So I think that's what you worry about, you know. And yeah, I just wouldn't blitz Mahomes. Yeah. I wouldn't. I've never seen anybody be successful with it yet. The teams we've seen be good play coverage and do that. So the game started out with we're going to play zone and do that. And even though the ball was turned over, I know Brian Flores had to look at it and go, I don't like the way this looks. He's getting completions easy.
Right.
And we don't have a great pass rush. So then once they started to have a little success, you know, they came out and they played some man-to-man. They started to go, okay, we got to play some man-to-man. Even though it had no points yet, they go, okay, it's still too easy the way it looks. They marched down the field.
Right.
And, yeah, Mahomes threw 2 interceptions, but it didn't look the way I'd like it to look. Then they play man-to-man a little bit. And, you know, Kansas City had some things ready for their man-to-man, you know, whether it's the long touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill and things like that, where, you know, they're doubling Tyreek Hill.
And I think we can take a
and
look at that.
We got that one on here?
One there, Pete.
Yeah.
It's 44-yard touchdown.
They had a lot of sprint outs in the game plan. Yeah. Well, this was, hey, you think we're going to do a sprint out, quick throw, but this time we're going to trick you and sprint out and set up. You see Travis Kelce stays in. They are doubling 2 different guys here. As you can see, if you rewind one more time for me, Nicole, you know, they are doubling Sammy Watkins and Tyreek Hill. 14 to the right is being doubled by the safety in 40. So go ahead, play it, you know, and you could see there. Now, the thing they're playing for, because teams have done this to the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, and let me just go back one more time to the start, and I'll tell you when to start one more time. They're playing for okay, McCole Hardman to the right runs an out route or a go route, and 14 and 10 are going to run the deep crossers and cross each other.
Yep.
That's one of their bread and butters. And this is what New England and the Raiders have done to take it away. So the two safeties they're doubling guys, expecting them to cross into their boundary, right? And Andy Reid's smart. He knows that. He's going, they've seen this a lot. And the Patriots, Brian Flores came from there, have taken this aspect of my game away. So they'll see Mahomes run to the right, and usually the backside receiver on a sprint out runs a crossing route anyways. So it's kind of a double whammy. They're expecting a crossing route regardless.
Right.
And he rolls out, and now you can play it, Nicole. And he makes it look like he's going to run the crossing route off the line of scrimmage and then goes vertical. And you could see that safety to the weak side. He kind of came down thinking, wait, I got to cut him off on the crossing route. And he straightens it up.
Yeah.
And it's too late because once Tyreek Hill is even, he is leaving.
Yeah, and even if he's not even, he's most likely
leaving. Yeah, right.
I'm looking at the two safeties there, and they were lined up 13 to 14 yards off the ball.
Yeah.
Early in the game, the Miami safeties were like 18 yards off the ball, and they didn't really get back to that, and it jumped out to me that they were so deep. But maybe if they would have stayed with that look, a pass like that doesn't happen.
I know. It is. Listen, it's tough. You can't stop everything with Kansas City.
Right.
They got everything on offense now. They really do. They've become an unstoppable machine. The only thing that stops Kansas City is Kansas City that I've seen in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
And even when they kind of stop themselves with the turnovers, they're still in the 30s.
That's right. I mean, they find ways still to just go, oh, my gosh, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's right. It's just, again, it's just scary. How many points could they score if they don't, fuck up,
right?
4 series a game in the second half? But your deep safety thing, hey, there's no doubt. There's part of that. Yeah. There is. It's just, you do it too much, they're going to find how they want to attack that as well. And I think early on that's what scared him is he went, wait, I'm playing deep and soft. We're not getting close to him, and he's just picking us apart. Oh, there's, Sammy Watkins over the middle for a 30-yard gain, and those were all zone coverages. He got in the man to change it up. And then he got a little more aggressive as the game went on because they became desperate and he had to force the issue. And Kansas City, of course, messed it up a little bit to let them back in the fold. But as usual, they re-accelerated when they need to put the game away.
Well, maybe the best defense is to have an offense that you have confidence to come out and hit the mid-30s or maybe touch 40 as well. Miami doesn't have that right now.
No, they don't.
Let's get to Tua.
Yeah.
I can look at the numbers, Chris, and say he hit 300 yards for the first time in his career. Had some good stretches. I'd like to know kind of your overall impressions of Tua in his first 300-yard game.
Best game of his career. I don't give a shit about stats either. You know me. I don't give a damn. I could care less. I want to see, NFL player type throws. Things aren't perfect. What are you going to do? I'm big into that. This was the best game for Tua in my opinion. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't. There's still mistakes. But they got into a position where they didn't want to be in. And then that made them probably play a game that they probably don't want to play yet with Tua, which is like, hey, we got to drop back and throw it, and we got to kind of live on your left arm. But, I think the biggest thing is tight throws. That's where, and when I mean that, when I say tight throws, it's 2 different ways. Tight throws into tight coverage, where I went, there we go, Tua. I like it. Ooh, you're high-low in the corner. You got to throw a 20-yard out route between a safety and a corner. Throws it in there. Way to go, big guy. Hey, it's a crossing route. It's tight man-to-man coverage. You can't miss this throw. If you miss him behind, it's going to be a pick. You got to throw it perfect. Bam, hits the guy right in the chest. There was so many of those throws in this game. I think he made more NFL-type throws for me in the first half of this game than he has in all his starts combined to this point.
Right.
So that was very, very, uplifting and cool to see. Encouraging is the word I was looking for. Exactly right.
Jorge Pima on Twitter asked you, from what you saw from Tua, is it possible he can grow into a quarterback to build your franchise around, or are the Dolphins headed for several more years of quarterback mediocrity?
No, I think from everything I've seen so far, you can build on this. Like, again, I'm not saying like I'm wowed by it like a Justin Herbert or a Joe Burrow. Okay, I'm not. But all right, so what? That doesn't mean he can't be awesome and their offense can't be awesome. The one thing he does is He does not make a lot of negative plays for the most part.
Through his first pick.
Right, through his first
6 starts, 1 pick.
He does a pretty good job for the most part not taking sacks and things like that. And then, yeah, there's a handful of plays where I go, okay, I wish he could have that back, and maybe this game isn't get to the 28-10 or 30-10 spot.
Yeah.
But he's learning on the fly, and the game got away from him. They're not built to play this way quite yet.
Right.
But either way, they came back and, like you said, made it competitive. And really, those 2 drives, they give them 17 and then 24. That's as good as Tua. That's as good as I've seen. It was a great game by Tua.
And with any of these quarterbacks that we've talked about in a positive way the last couple of years, you often bring up how the team around him helps him. They're averaging a league low in yards per carry. So it's not like he's getting a lot of assists from the ground game. I know the running backs are hurt, but he doesn't have some of the assets or benefits some of the other quarterbacks do.
Agreed. You're right. And then, even like this game, they ran a few boots early, but after that, Kansas City went, wait, the run game's not that good, and we're going to stop these boots. And you went, ooh, I don't know, what's he going to do from there? All right, well, what's he going to do? He's going to carve you up from the pocket, definitely. So, they even with the drop back pass game, I thought it was a very smart game plan. It fit them. It fits him with what he wants to do. And, there are some moments here where if we're going to break it down real quick, like, hey, it's 7-0. The drive they're going to get the field goal on. He has a 3rd and 6 throw that he throws up to Devontae Parker for one-on-one. It wasn't a look to throw to Devontae Parker. I understand if it's a man-to-man, he's running a corner route, and he's a big guy, you want to give him a one-on-one chance. But the guy was outside of him all the time. He had Grant underneath for a walk-in touchdown.
Yeah.
And I'm only saying this because this is Kansas City. And, 10-0 ain't good enough. You need 14-0, right? And I'm just trying to say, like, these are just little moments of the game that, they could have maybe taken back momentum and didn't quite get there because Tua's young and maybe not, hitting on all cylinders.
But you're right,
they
had those moments early on that the Chiefs were ending drives with sack, interception, interception. I mean, there was that little window to take advantage, and that window doesn't come along very often against that team.
No, it does not. And just another example. It's 28-10, okay, and it's 3rd down. It's a 4-man rush, okay, and they're around like their own 40-yard line. It's a 4-man rush. It's 2-man. They have the perfect play called.
Yeah.
They had a little underneath pick to Max Hollins, and he ran out to the left and left the pocket. There was no reason to leave the pocket. But, hey, that's just another example where I go, hey, it's 28-10. Even the safety he takes, okay, last thing, and we'll move on. The safety he takes, he gets off of his proper read. They ran the old go, crossing route, in cut. You look at the go real quick to see if it's like what you like, but really the first read is the crosser. His eyes never went to him. He went from 1 to 3. If he went to the right guy over the middle, he's not going to get a safety, and he's going to throw it wide open to Gesicki over the middle. So, again, awesome game.
Yeah.
We're just showing you, like, the little room or little errors you make against Kansas City. You just can't afford to make it against this group, or they'll kill you.
Rod Marks asks, from what you saw in the game, can you identify the pieces, or maybe one piece, the Dolphins need to add in the offseason to be in the conversation with the Chiefs every year?
I think it's maybe one more wide receiver to round out that group. Obviously, the running back, as you've mentioned. And then the one thing I wrote here, at the end of all of this, and when we were on the other side, this Dolphins D is really good, But if they want to compete with the Chiefs and the big boys like that, they got to get one more. They have to get a legit pass rusher. Because if you want to play 4 and coverage and safeties back and do all that, yeah, that's cool, but you got to have something that's going to get after him a little. You can't just let him sit there all day. I don't care how many people you put into coverage. So, like we've seen, again, the 49ers gave them issues because they had 2 pass rushers, right?
Yeah.
The Chargers have given them issues because they have 2 pass rushers. So that would be the next step, I would say, for Miami.
Thinking about the Chiefs here, big picture, Chris, at Lockdown, cornerback asks, which teams as of right now do you honestly believe can knock off the Chiefs in a playoff or Super Bowl
Nobody.
matchup?
Nobody.
Who's closest to even being considered?
Probably New Orleans or Green Bay, honestly.
Let's take a look at the odds here from our partners at PointsBet for the Super Bowl odds as they stand right now. So you said
New Orleans and Green Bay would be my 2.
Anybody from the AFC? right now, nobody's even close.
Buffalo is the next one.
I thought you might say Buffalo.
And I think Buffalo would be my next one.
Yeah.
It would. Buffalo's defense has turned the corner. They're good. I don't give a crap what they were early in the year. Just like we talked about Baltimore the last 5 weeks is one of the worst defenses in football.
Yeah.
That's what they are right now. I can't go, oh, no, but they're really in the middle of the league. So what? They're not what they were in the beginning of the year. I don't know if, Pete, you could look it up on the fly, but I would think Buffalo's defense the last 5 or 6 weeks is towards the top 10 in football. I would think so.
Has it been the last 5 or 6? I know the last couple.
It's been it's really been through their whole win streak. Even the Hail Murray game, right? That was good defensive performance. We talked about it. If he doesn't complete the Hail Mary, he throws for 190-something yards. Right. But no, they did the Patriots, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Chargers, the 49ers, the Steelers. It's 6 games in a row where it's pretty damn good defense on that side of the ball. And we know that Allen is special and can make plays there too. So I think I would pick them to be the AFC team.
Yeah.
But the NFC teams, I think, are the matchup the best because – one, they have quarterbacks and offense that can put up points and do that type of stuff, right? That's the one thing I do. The Packers' defense would concern me. It would. But it's at least a little exotic, and they have 2 really awesome corners to where maybe they can get a stop by confusing or making a play every now and then. And Kansas City's not a great running team, so Green Bay's lack of a run defense doesn't get exposed there. To me, those are the 2 teams that I think have them. But if you're making me pick, no, I'm taking Kansas City. I took Kansas City all the way from the start of the year. I'm not stopping now.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.